Welcome to the meeting of the State of Hawaii Board of Agriculture and Biosecurity. I am the chair, Sharon Hurd. Prior to calling the meeting to order, we will explain how the public can participate in this hybrid meeting, which can be accessed by video conference, telephone, or in person.
As an attendee, your microphone will be automatically muted during the meeting, unless you are providing testimony. For each agenda item you wish to testify on, please click the raise hand button found on your Zoom screen. Board staff will individually enable each testifier to unmute their microphone. When recognized by the chair, please unmute your microphone before speaking and mute your microphone after you finish speaking in order to prevent audio feedback. When testifying, you will be asked to identify yourself and the organization, if any, that you represent. Each testifier will be limited to 2 minutes of testimony per agenda item. If you are dialing in by phone, when the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may indicate you want to testify by entering star and then 9 on your phone's keypad. After entering star and then 9, a voice prompt will let you know that the host of the meeting has been notified. When recognized by the chairperson, you may unmute yourself by pressing star and then 6 on your phone. A voice prompt will let you know that you are unmuted. Once you are finished speaking, please enter star and then 6 again to mute yourself. Thank you.
Testifiers are reminded that there is a 2-minute limit of testimony per agenda item. If there is anyone testifying in the room, please be sure to come up to the mic and identify yourself before you begin. Okay, calling the Board of Agriculture Biosecurity meeting to order at 9:05 in the morning. Taking a roll call vote. I will take a roll call vote of the board members present. When your name is called, please indicate your presence with a here or present and state who in the room, if anyone over the age of 18 is present with you. This also serves as a roll call vote. For each subsequent vote, I will ask if there are any objections or recusals. If there are none, then the motion will be approved on the same basis as this initial roll call. Sharon Hurd is present, and Deputy Director Ryan Kanakaole has been excused. Dr. Parwinder Grawal from Dean of C.F.R. is excused. Mark Takimoto, DBET.
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties.
Okay, Mark, are you alone in the room?
Yes, I'm alone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Diane Lay.
Present, and no one over the age of 18 is with me.
Thank you, Diane. Nathaniel Oswald.
Good morning. Present, and my 6-year-old is with me today.
So welcome to the 6-year-old. Good morning. Kauai member right now, that position is vacant. And our member from at large, also vacant. And Enya.
Present and alone.
Thank you. And James Gomes.
Aloha kakayaka, present and alone.
Okay, we do have quorum with the members present, so we will proceed with the item 2, approval of the minutes for the June 24th, 2025 meeting. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Second, Diane.
Thank you, Diane. Does anyone from the public wish to give testimony? No hands. Or discussion? Seeing, hearing no discussion. Calling for the vote. Are there any objections or recusals? Hearing none, the motion to approve the minutes is approved unanimously. Moving on with the item 3, introductions. We've done that. Do we have to introduce people in the room? No. Okay, I just wondered because we have Steve face.
Well, she'll come, he's gonna test it or anything.
Okay.
Mark, can I ask a question? Is the video the problem you're having?
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. I can't quite get it to work here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are we okay?
yeah, I'm not in the office today. I'm working at home. I'm not feeling well, so
Okay.
I don't have a good system here. Sorry.
I don't know what happens if we can't. Okay.
Okay, well, thank you, board. We will be proceeding Despite the technical difficulties and not being able to see Mark, we do have quorum, including Mark, so stand by for any additional rulings on that. Okay, item 4, communications from the divisions and administration. Moving on to item A1, Agricultural Loan Division, request for approval of one Class C loan for co-borrowers, Z-Bar Ranch LLC and Barney James Shooting. May I have a motion to approve the request?
So moved, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jimmy, and the second,
I'll second.
was that Ann?
And
Thank you, Ann. Presentation by staff? Do we have someone online? Francis?
Good morning. This is Buddy Nichols. How are you?
Oh, buddy, good morning, buddy.
Yes, this is for Z-Bar Ranch LLC and Barney Shooty. They meet the eligibility requirements according to Chapter 155, Hawaii Revised Statutes, as a qualified farmer. Z-Bar Ranch LLC is a Hawaii LLC registered with the Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs on May 18th, 2006. It operates as a single member LLC with Barney as the sole member. Mr. Shooty is the lifelong Hawaiian resident and is also known as Zanga Shooty. This is a cow-calf operation. Z-Bar presently has a 10-year emergency loan with us with a balance of $60,733.11. It matures 8/15/2030, and they plan on refinancing this through this project. The amount of the loan that they're requesting is $250,000 from the Department of Agriculture and Biosecurity. Also, we'll be working with what they're going to be purchasing is 2 family-owned LLC leases with, two DHHL leaseholds from family members, and also be settling out operating their emergency loan with us. DHHL will be securing the Hawaiian Lending and Investments Group. The Hawaiian Lending and Investments is a nonprofit U.S. Treasury certified community development financial institution founded by the Sovereign Council of Hawaiian Homestead Associations. Our portion will be $250,000. They will be acquiring 630 acres, and like I said, that's for 2 DHHL leaseholds that family members have. Their father originally had the lease and split it up between the family. Z-Bar has been running the cattle on this property for numbers of years and been leasing it from the family members, and the family members are releasing it back to, would like to release it back to Barney on this. Like I said, we'll be providing $250,000. Hawaiian Lending and Investment Loan will be doing $310,000, and Barney will be putting the remainder of $733.11. Our loan will be a 10-year loan. It'll be an operating loan Class C with semi-annual payments of principal and interest because Barney calves twice a year. Security will be all the equipment that Barney has that is unsecured at this time, which would be $490,000. As the presentation shows. This gives us a loan to value ratio of 62.5%. The present operation, as I said, is a cow-calf operation, and they run approximately 600 head of cows. Barney started originally being raised on the ranch and came back to the ranch in the early 2000s with 100 head of cows. That converted into 600 cow herd that he's running right now. He has a 92% calving percentage and only a 7.5% cull rate. And he runs on 8 different DHHL leases, and which are all family owned, family run, family leaseholds, and third party. And he also has 1 lease with Ring Neck Ranch. So he runs around 2,200 acres. That puts you at about a 3.5 acres per animal unit. NRCS estimates that area to be less than 3. So Barney definitely takes good care of the land and the pasture lands around it and his cattle. He primarily sells to the Hawaiian Meats, and also uses that. It also helps Hawaiian Meats as a broker for the local other ranchers in the area to help them market their cattle as well. So in summary, we have a very experienced rancher with a lot of years of history. He's also preparing his family for the next generation because his kids want to return back to the ranch. So consequently, as the family moves on and starts retiring, they're turning back those leaseholds back to Barney, and they've all been worked with DHHL on this. So he had a denial with First Hawaiian Bank, so he meets that qualification as well. So approval of this request is recommended based on Mr. Schuete's ranching experience, historical and projected financial performance of the ranch, collateral offered, and good credit rating. As you noticed from the information provided, he has plenty of cash flow to cover all of his costs, and as well as a very strong balance sheet. So we're recommending approval.
Thank you, buddy. Before we proceed with the any comments from the public, I would like to note for the record that Mark Takamoto's video is now on and we can see him on the screen as being present. Thank you, Mark. Does anyone from the public wish to give testimony? No hands? Okay. Board discussion. Seeing, hearing no discussion, calling for the vote. Are there any objections or recusals? Hearing, seeing none, the motion is approved unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to item number A2. Request for approval of one Class A loan for Michelle Valentin.
Thank you.
Okay, wait a minute,
yes,
wait a minute, buddy. So, may I have a motion to approve the request?
So moved, Jimmy.
Jimmy, thank you. And a second?
Second, Diane.
Thank you, Diane. Presentation by staff. Thank you, buddy. Please go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. Didn't mean to jump the gun, so thank you. Yeah, Michelle Valentin meets eligibility requirements under Chapter 155, Hawaiian Revised Statutes as a qualified farmer, and meets the general eligibility requirements as well. Ms. Valentin is well established in Maui community and has been farming since 2017. She produces herbs, tomatoes, and moringa. The request is for $464,000, which includes $304,000 of land improvements and $160,000 debt refinance. It's broken down even further, down to construction of crop processing and value-added kitchen, plus $107,000 for farm kitchen and water system to provide the water to all that. $8,000 for site preparation and $160,000, as I said, for refinance. This request will enable the applicant to construct the presently purchased Quonset hut that she's already purchased and complete the value-added kitchen. The value-added kitchen will allow Michelle to process her farm spreads and hummus and pono pies in a single-owned kitchen and eliminate the present leased kitchens that she has located in other spots on the 7 acres. As I said, this is a Class A direct farm ownership loan for improvements. The amount is $464,000. The term is 35 years at 4%. Monthly principal and interest payments of $2,055 will cover the loan until maturity. The Class A will be secured accordingly. A second position on the mortgage property of 7.8 acres, farm parcel identified with tax map TMK 2-7-008-038-001. The property is owned by Michelle and with no present structures. The 2-year-old appraisal on the property is $1,250,000. And a new appraisal has been ordered. In fact, it was delivered today at $1.475 million. So it comes within the tolerance of within our specs. The loan to value ratio with the 1.2 is 80.4. So it's better than that today. And I didn't recalculate for you today, and I'm sorry, I haven't done that quite yet. There's no other leases on the property. There's a first by FSA. She purchased the property initially with FSA funds. And so we'll be sitting in a second position with that kind of collateral. She has a very solid balance sheet, as you saw from the presentation. Her income statement is based on 3 years of past history production. And there's enough profit, obviously, to cover all of her expenses and to cover this payment on these notes. Property and improvement insurance will be required during the construction and after the construction of all facilities. Presently, there's nothing located on the property. It's barren ground that she's been farming on. Ms. Valentine came to Maui in 2012. At that time, she has a Bachelor of Science degree in food science and started Maui Raw Spreads business made with local macadamia nuts in 2014. In 2015, she added a small kitchen at her home and started processing her spreads. She began farming in 2017 and started primarily with herbs, using those to finish her spreads and to do the value-added concept as she moved forward. This was all done in her backyard. Then in 2020, she purchased 7.8 acres as she developed her farm and continued her farming career, knowing that she wanted to convert this to a total farm, using the value-added concept of marketing her crop. For the past 4 years, she's consistently expanded her herbs production and now is making a shift into tomato production. She's using the citric acid from the tomatoes in order to put in her spreads and her other products she has, not to mention different pastes that she puts out as well. So she's truly a value-added concept here. Approximately right now, 2 acres of the farm is located in a valley, and she's planted trees back in 2020 in that area, such as avocado, moringa, and some other citrus crops. Of the other acres, about little over an acre will stay in herbs, and the rest will be put into tomatoes. So that's her process. Her experience and her production history is based on what she's been doing so far on that property. That property is located in Haiku, excellent for tomato production, and the yield has been very strong. And this will be used in order to project out her future profits. So in summary, Michelle is an experienced businesswoman and has developed and maintained strong market relationships with a variety of value-added products utilizing crops she raises on her farm. She's financially secure, as our numbers show, and is a highly respected member of the Maui community for her accomplishments. This is the next step in this farm's development and will allow her to centralize her operations and expand her homegrown food production, going to the full 7 acres and finishing out her project that she started in 2020. This structure will also provide additional needed infrastructure for Maui, since she plans on allowing other farmers to utilize the kitchen and prepare and to have GAP-approved crop preparations as well. The Department of Agriculture loan is well secured, and the real estate has a sufficient historical cash flow to service the proposed debt. The loan is supported by the overall strength of the farm, value-added products, and Michelle's personal, and she's guaranteed the loan personally. She has a denial from Central Bank, Pacific Bank, so she meets that requirement as well. Approval of this request is recommended based on Michelle Valentine's business and farming experience and historical and projected financial performance, collateral offered, and credit rating. Loan disbursement will be subject to the appraisal, and as I said, that came in today at 1.475. So it exceeds what was projected.
Thank you very much, Richard Nichols. Does anyone from the public wish to give testimony? No hands. Board discussion? Hey, Ann.
Morning, Chair. A quick question for Buddy. Sorry, you mentioned the projections were based on yield.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
So assuming she's gonna sell out of.
Yeah, she's planning on tilling out all the acreage And it's based off a test plots that she's run there, because she has been running some, about a half acre right now this last year, and she's, so that's what she's based her, yields on. And that falls within lines of what FSA has for their NAP program as well, as far as yields per acre. So it's
Okay.
well within line of what's sort of going on.
Okay, and then in the projection, it sounds like she took over Pono Pies as well. Are there books incorporated into that projection as well, or is it just based on yield?
Yeah, there in the bottom line, as you see in the confidential information, you'll see that that's listed there as non-farm income on the outside there.
Okay.
And that's how that is. It's the net. So
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm for this, even if the projections don't hit all the way, she's got plenty of coverage, so I'm good.
thank you.
Thank you, Ann. Any other board discussion? Nope. Okay, hearing, seeing no hands, calling for the vote. Are there any objections or recusals? Hearing, seeing none. Jason? None? Okay, the recommendation is approved unanimously. The motion is approved unanimously. Okay, moving on to item 3. Request for approval of one Class A loan for co-borrowers, Minerva Iligan, Gloria Iligan, and Diana Iligan Clifford. May I have a motion to approve the request?
So moved.
Thank
Diane.
you, Diane. Thank you, Diane. And may I have a second?
I'll second.
And thank you, Ann. Presentation by staff.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Shivey with the Ag Loan Division. I'll be doing the presentation for the loan request for Minerva Iligan, Gloria Iligan, and Diana Clifford. The request is for a Class A direct farm improvement loan for the co-borrowers, as mentioned previously, in the amount of $150,000. This is going to be on an 8.6 acre leasehold coffee farm that's located off of Middle Ka'e Road in South Kona that primarily sells coffee cherry, though it does some sales of other fruits as well. The loan request will enable the applicants to upgrade the cesspool to a septic system to meet the requirements set forth by Kamehameha Schools, Bishop Estate. The remaining funds will be used to make repairs to the farm's roadway, roof, and electrical of the residents, as well as the coffee infrastructure. The proposed loan is termed at 16 years to work within the expiration of the lease that is set for March 31st, 2043, or within 18 years. With a fixed 4% interest rate per annum, a monthly principal and interest payment of $1,060 until maturity. A first position leasehold mortgage will be taken as collateral conditional to the appraisal value being greater than $176,741. I got that today as well, and that came in at 475. So we are loan to value would be about 32%, so sufficient. The Iligans moved to Kona in the 1970s and have been farming since. Miss Minerva Iligan raised both Gloria and Diana on the farms, who to this day are very involved with the care of the farms. They have a total of 3 different parcels. This particular farm was planted in macadamia and coffee until 2 years ago, when the Iligans began removing the macadamia orchard and replacing it with the coffee orchard. There are approximately 2 acres of established coffee, 2.5 acres of young coffee trees, and another 2 acres prepared for the nursery stock. They sell their coffee cherry to a local coffee mill and smaller sales of the mango, avocados, and macadamia to other local vendors. The proposed loan will allow the applicants to make the necessary upgrades to stay in good standing with their lease and further enabling them to continue their legacy of farming and stewardship. Loan is conditional to the consent to mortgage from KSBE. Staff recommends approval of the loan.
Thank you. Is there anyone from the public wish to give testimony? No hands, thank you. Board discussion. Thank you, Ann.
Sorry, Chair, I know I seconded this motion, but I'm also a Kamehameha Schools employee. And I got excited because it was Kona. But do I need to, this isn't my decision that makes, it's not my division that makes leasing decisions, but I think I should recuse myself from this one.
Okay. You can't second the motion?
No, but
Yeah.
you won't pass it because you don't have And then
Oh, quorum.
submission fails,
This is.
and so you would have to continue it to the next meeting.
Okay, but does he have to recuse himself? It's his choice. It's not his decision. It's ethics, okay.
So I don't know, it's up to him.
Thank you. And your decision to recuse yourself is accepted and approved based on your decision. However, that does put us below quorum. And so this item will move to the next board meeting. Okay? Moving on.
Apologize about that.
Not at all, not at all. Thank you. Moving on to item 4, request for approval of one Class C loan for co-borrowers Robert David Butler and Lori Ann Butler. Presentation by staff.
All right, the next loan I'll be presenting, this is Jillian Scheibe again, is
Oh,
from Ms.
wait a minute, should I have taken a approval to? Hear the motion. I should have, yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, folks, I forgot to turn the page here. So may I have a motion to approve the request?
So move,
approved.
Jimmy.
Jimmy, thank you, Diane, for the second. Presentation by staff. Thank you, Jillian.
Hi, this is Jillian. I'm presenting a loan request for Mr. and Mrs. Butler, who are requesting a Class C direct operating loan in the amount of $120,000 to refinance high-interest debt. Their 11.8 acre leasehold farm is located in Honolulu, where they operate a fully integrated coffee farm. The proposed term of this loan is 10 years. The interest rate will be at 4% fixed. Principal and interest payments of $1,215 or $1,215 until maturity. The loan will be secured by a junior financing statement on crops accounts, inventory, farm equipment, tools, and coffee equipment. The senior position is held by the state for an emergency loan awarded in 2020. There is sufficient value to secure the loan. They also have a Class A from the state approved in 2018 for the farm. The Butlers began farming this parcel over 19 years ago, originally selling coffee, cherry, and macadamias. Over the years, they've become fully integrated to increase their earned revenue. Presently, there are about 4 acres of productive coffee with more trees planted in the last 2 years that will be starting to fruit. Mr. Butler and his son tend to the farm and roasting duties while Miss Butler does the administrative labor. The Butlers market, let's slow down. The Butlers market roasted coffee under their label Mongoose Mountain Farm, which can be found as brown and whole bean, roasted coffees, as well as K-cups and single serving pour overs. By refinancing the high interest debt, the proposed loan will provide relief to cash constriction by decreasing their monthly payment and improving immediate cash flow to the farm, allowing them to continue to farm, roast, and sell high quality coffee products. Staff recommends approval of the loan request.
Thank you, Jillian. Does anyone from the public wish to give testimony? No hands, thank you. Board discussion. And yeah,
So this is KS as well. Now, is this loan decision predicated on any lease decision from KS? No. Okay. I'll stay in on this one, Chair.
thank you, N. Any other board discussion? Hearing, seeing none, calling for the vote. Are there any objections or recusals? Hearing, seeing none, the motion is approved unanimously. Okay, moving on to item number 5, request for approval of proposed chapter 4-8 Hawaii Administrative Rules, Title 4, Department of Agriculture and Biosecurity, Subtitle 2, Agricultural Loan Division, Chapter 8, Agricultural Loan Program Rules. The proposed new amendments to Chapter 8 includes 4-8-1 definitions, 4-8-8 letters of decline, 4-8-12 interest rates, 4-8-20 line of credit loans, and repealing subchapter 3 North Kohala Loan and Grant Program, loan servicing 4-8-43 through 4-8-48. May I have a motion to approve the request?
So move, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jimmy, and a second.
Second, by Diane.
Thank you again, Diane. And presentation by staff.
Yes, this is Buddy Nichols and, or Richard Nichols, I guess. But anyway, this is the Hawaii Department of Agriculture and Biosecurity Agriculture Loan Division is proposing to amend Chapter 4-8, Hawaiian Administrative Rules, Agriculture Loan Division Rules. Chapter 4-8 title is amended and compiled to address the challenges and barriers that agriculture producers face in accessing capital necessary to cover the rising land and water costs, labor shortage, and infrastructure needs of farmer ranchers and expand their current operations. The Act 069, Session Laws 2025, provides the department with to modify state agriculture loan program rules to ensure equitable access to capital for farmers of all scales, with a focus on enabling sustainable, community-based, and diversified production by small and mid-sized farms is essential to further Hawaii's food security, economic resilience, and self-sufficiency. The creation and management of SOLID program codifies into rules the auxiliary and other related activities that supporting agriculture and allowable by DAB, Agriculture Loan Division. These rules allow the flexibility to provide resources in the promotion of agricultural diversification, production, self-sufficiency by supporting all facets of the business of agriculture. The following changes are associated in the rules as you see. The definitions of food hub, which a food hub is classified as a means of a business organization that actively manages the aggregation, distribution, and marketing of agricultural products from local and regional producers' operations. Import replacement loans, a new loan. Import replacement loans means loans that provide credit for qualified farmers to participate with crop expansion programs initiated by the state on a large-scale basis with the specific intent to compete with or replace imported crops into the state. And finally, line of credit. Line of credit means a secured revolving loan with a present credit limit for farm operational expenses and to improve farm operations. The next item that will be changed to be letters of decline. That has been reduced to one letter of decline from either a private lender, members of the farm credit system, or farm service agency. Interest rate. Interest rate is changed to 4% for qualified loans and 3% for new farmers and other specific loan classes. Collateral. The only collateral change would be changing the name from to recognize the farm service agency. And the line of credit. Line of credit loans require monthly interest only payments. Monthly interest only payments may be waived if it can be demonstrated to the division's satisfaction that funds are used to fund crops or livestock, and repayment of the line of credit loan will be made upon sale of said crop or livestock. Approval of such waiver may be made by the board. Item B, if the line of credit has been delinquent for 6 months, the department at its sole discretion may convert the line of credit to operating term loan. Item C, the division will conduct annual reviews of the line of credit borrowers, which may include year-end financial statements, annual tax returns, or credit reports. And finally, the borrower must request for drawings on the line of credit to the division on a prescribed forms and include the purpose of the use of the funds being drawn, a check of the principal balance of the credit line to ensure no drawings may be made in excess of the authorized limits. And finally, the elimination of subchapter 3, deleting out North Kohala Loan and Grant Program, which is not currently offered, and all the loans have been cleared. So, recommendation. Preliminary approve and proposed amendments and compilations of chapter 4-8 entitled Agricultural Loan Division Rules, and authorize the chairperson to schedule public hearings and appoint one or more hearing officers in connection with the proposed rules. chapter 4.8, agricultural loan division rules. That's our recommendation.
Thank you, Richard. And moving on to public testimony. Does anyone from the public wish to give testimony? No testimony. Moving to board discussion. There's somebody here. Oh, Diane.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Buddy or Richard. Good to see you. I have a couple of questions. And just one comment. There's a number of references that I think the updated title for the department need to be reflected. But on the interest rates, I guess I'm just need to better understand the board's or the department's policy on that. I thought that interest rates had been tied to the central bank current rates or Farm Credit Bank. I always heard it was central bank, but maybe I misheard that or misunderstood it.
Yeah, with the new law that was passed, this is 069.
Right.
The ledge locked them in. So it's 4%
Okay.
for, established farmers and 3% for beginning farmers. And
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so they're
Okay.
locked in right now. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then the other question I had was with respect to the definition of a food hub, means a business or organization. It does centralized or aggregation. Does that include cooperatives?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, yep. And we've always been able to lend money to co-ops.
okay,
We have some, yes.
right. I understood that. There's no definition for a co-op in here, so wasn't sure. So, and I understand, food hub is kind of a new trendy business model. And then under import replacement loans, it talks about loans that provide credit for qualified farmers to participate with crop expansion programs initiated by the state on large scale basis. Do you have some examples or an example of what that might look like? Would this be in like cooperation with ADC or DBID or maybe the department?
So primarily any crop that we're having a large amount of import that we're doing very little of, and we can grow most everything here. Say like, for example, we're doing teas, and so there's more and more to promote a tea. We're bringing a tea in, all of that. Oftentimes, we're bringing in a lot of avocados. Even though avocado is pretty strong, but if we're trying to offset some of the new crops that may be coming in that we're importing, we're importing. The idea is or the legislature's, rule, or if you will, law is to help fund those as we're trying to become more self-sufficient. Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't understand the term initiated by the state. I wasn't sure what that.
Yeah.
Supported by the state. Okay. All right. I think that might be all of my questions. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Just good. Good to modernize this. I like the line of credit. That's a good one too for producers. So appreciate it.
Thank you, Diana. The Agricultural Loan Division put a lot of work into this submission, and it did pass with the support of everyone. But Diane, your question is a good one, and it is food for thought. So we will take it probably during the public hearing. We can ask for some comments on that question. It's a good one. Thank you. Any other board discussion? Okay, hearing none, we're calling for the vote. Are there any objections?
That's what public testimony is.
We did, yeah. No, I put a little. Okay, calling for the vote. Are there any objections or recusals? Hearing, seeing none, the motion is unanimously approved. Thank you, Agricultural Loan Division. We're moving on to item B, Agricultural Resource Management Division. Item 1, request for approval to add and withdraw officers to Hawaii Secure Foods LLC, general lease number S-5586, with the TMKs listed in the submittal. moving to request to approve the motion. May I have a motion to approve the request? Excuse me.
So moved, Jimmy.
Jimmy, thank you. Any second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ann. And presentation by staff.
Good morning, Chair, members of the board. I'm Brandy Ayo, Property Manager with the ARM Division on the Big Island. So General Lease 5586 was originally awarded to Island Dairy Inc. effective June 5th, 1998 by way of direct negotiation. The subject lease was assigned from Island Dairy Inc. to Big Island Dairy LLC with the approval of the Board of Land and Natural Resources at its meeting on November 10th, 2011. The subject lease was transferred to the Department of Agriculture, now known as the Department of Agriculture and Biosecurity by Governor's Executive Order number 4419. On January 29th, the Board of 2013, the Board of Agriculture, now known as Board of Agriculture and Biosecurity, approved the extension of lease for a period of 15 years to and including June 4th, 2048. On October 26, 2021, the Board of Agriculture consented to the assignment of General Lease 5586 from Big Island Dairy LLC to Hawaii Secure Foods LLC, which is currently owned and operated by Buck Holdings LLC and Dutch Hawaiian Dairy Farms LLC. Since taking over the lease in 2021, HSF has invested over $3.92 million to develop and improve the subject parcel. They completed renovations to the existing on-site apartments, completed both phase 1 and 2 environmental site assessments, cleared and disposed of abandoned equipment, tires, and debris from the field and farm roads, installed over 4.7 miles of fencing, and completed various plans. In partnership with NRCS, they also developed and obtained engineering approval to install a reservoir on the property. Unfortunately, due to timing, prioritization, and the need for further partnership development, HSF has not been able to fully restore the dairy and bring it into operation. HSF is requesting approval to remove Buck Holdings LLC, solely owned by Chad Buck, as a member, manager, officer, and owner of HSF, and replace its membership with RPH Hawaii Pride LLC, which is solely owned by Richard Hune. As a result, the member managers of HSF would then be RPH Hawaii Pride LLC and Dutch Hawaiian Dairy Farms LLC, the latter of those of whose members are Case, Malena, and Cornell Kea. Richard Hune has over 10 years of farming experience, primarily in the cultivation of food crops. He is also the owner and operator of a commercial irradiation agricultural treatment facility that serves local farmers who export fresh agricultural products to the continental US. Although Mr. Hune is a highly qualified farmer, he does not possess the knowledge and experience of dairying. However, he demonstrates the ability to successfully operate a dairy farm and will also have the support and guidance of the remaining members of HSF. Due to the lack of dairying experience, RPH Hawaii Pride LLC is considered as a non-qualifying member of HSF. HFS updated plan of utilization includes the operation of an artisanal grass-fed dairy that will produce high-quality dairy products, including but not limited to fluid milk, butter, yogurt, cheese, ice cream, and other value-added dairy products, while taking into consideration O'Okala's unique ecosystem, topography, and community needs. Their plan incorporates the cultivation of livestock feed to support their dairy operation and other local dairy farmers, ensuring a reliable, locally sourced feed supply. By utilizing the property's capacity for feed production, their artisanal dairy can enhance pasture-fed diets with nutrient-rich on-site crops, ensuring high-quality milk production, all while creating a self-sustaining, locally driven dairy industry that reduces reliance on imported feed. Additionally, HSF developed a comprehensive pasture and fuel load management plan that includes grass baling, allied agricultural crop rotation, and the continuation of an existing agreement with a local cattle rancher to help manage fire hazards and overgrowth. HSF is a current leaseholder of General Lease 5586 and is in good standing. The changes in officers of HSF as requested in the submittal will not affect their eligibility as a lessee. There is a consideration of $4 million for the change of ownership in officers of HSF in accordance with Exhibit C, Assignment of Lease Evaluation Policy of General Lease 5586, Any net proceeds are subject to a premium percentage charge benefiting the lessor. Calculations in accordance with this provision net zero to the lessor. See, see attached, Exhibit B. Staff recommends that the Board of Agriculture and Biosecurity approve the request made by Hawaii Secure Foods LLC to add RPH Hawaii Pride LLC to and remove Buck Holdings LLC from Hawaii Secure Foods LLC. Thank you.
Thank you. Randy, does anyone from the public wish to give testimony? No hands shown. A board discussion. Go ahead, Diane.
Thank you, Chair. I will be supporting this request. I just had a question because it was of such concern to the community before, but it looks like the submittal indicates that work has been done on the planning pieces for the nutrient and manure and nutrient management strategy. But it doesn't appear like that's progressing. Does the department have any, my question is, does the department have any role in oversight of that? Or is that Department of Health solely responsible for that?
That would be primarily the Department of Health. However, our lease requires that our lessee abide by all rules, laws, regulations. So.
Okay, and they don't have any animals up there or extended number of animals up there?
They have right now, they do have some cattle there on site right now, yes.
But more for management of the existing pasture
Yes.
versus dairy operation. That hasn't restarted. Okay,
Not yet.
thank you.
No. Yeah,
Thank
you're
you very
welcome.
much.
Thank you, Diane. Continued board discussion. Okay, hearing, seeing none, calling for the vote. Are there any objections or recusals? Hearing none, the motion is approved, unanimous. Thank you. Moving on to item A2, request for approval to sublease between the Hamakua Agricultural Cooperative lessee, sublessor, and, help me with that, Jianggu Wang, thank you. Sublessee, general lease number S-7013. TMK is listed. Lot number 2, Hamakua Agricultural Park, phase 2. Oahu, and Kimau First, Hamakua District, Island of Hawaii. May I have a motion to approve the request?
So moved, Diane.
Thank you, Diane. And a second?
Second, Jimmy.
Thank you, Diane and Jimmy. A presentation by staff.
Jianggu Wang is requesting to sublease Lot 2 under General Lease 7013, consisting approximately of 13.8 acres. Mr. Wang is currently a sublessee of lot numbers 2, 4, 16, 17, and 29A under General Lease 5553, located in Pauwilo, and Lot 3 under General Lease 7013, where he grows green onions, bok choy, kale, cilantro, and Brazilian apple bananas. Due to high demand, Mr. Wang plans to utilize Lot 2 to expand on the cultivation of his green onions. Jianggu Wang is currently a sublessee in good standing and qualifies as a bona fide farmer with more than 2 years of full-time farming experience and meets the application and eligibility requirements in accordance with the HAR. Staff recommends that the Board of Agriculture and Biosecurity approve the sublease between the Hamakua Agricultural Cooperative, lessee sublessor, and Jianggu Wang, sublessee, for lot number 2 in the Hamakua Agricultural Park under General Lease 7013 through the expiration date of June 29, 2033. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandy. Does anyone from the public wish to give testimony? No hands, thank you. Board discussion. Seeing none, hearing none. Calling for the vote. Are there any objections or recusals? Hearing, seeing none, the motion is carried unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to item 3. B3 is a request for approval for grant of a term, non-exclusive utility easement for Spectrum Oceanic LLC, general lease number S-3133, Mehelani Farms, Inc. Lessee TMK is listed. Waikiki Kawaipapa, Hana Island of Maui, Hawaii. May I have a motion to approve the request?
So move, Jimmy.
Jimmy, thank you. And a second, please.
I'll second check.
That's N.
And
Thank you. And presentation by staff.
Hey, good morning, Chair, board members. Kevin Moore, Agricultural Land Program Manager. So this is a pretty straightforward request. The lessee who operates in Hana, Maui, grows a variety of tropical flowers and floral arrangement plants such as heliconia, ginger, and orchids. They also grow moringa trees and manage a few beehives. And one of the challenges they have is internet connectivity. And so this is just a simple request for Spectrum Oceanic LLC to run a telecommunications line up from the highway to their facilities to improve the internet functionality. And the term of the easement would be coterminous with the current lease expiration date, which is February 28, 2054. And so the staff recommendation is that the Board of Agriculture and Biosecurity approve the request for the grant of a term non-exclusive easement to Spectrum Oceanic LLC over, under, and across TMK 21-3-4-6 for the purposes of installation, maintenance, operation, improvement, removal, and repair of Spectrum's cable television system and other communications facilities, including without limitation lines, cables, amplifiers, nodes, utility cabinets, and other electronic equipment, towers, and poles. All related documents shall be subject to review and approval as to form by the Department of the Attorney General, and such other terms and conditions as may be prescribed by the chairperson to best serve the interests of the state. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Does anyone from the public wish to give testimony? No discussion, board discussion. Hearing, seeing none. And please proceed.
thank you, Chair. Kevin, real fast, on a term easement like this, who maintains the easement?
It's going to be the easement holder, so it'll be Spectrum.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions from the board? Discussion? Hearing, seeing none, calling for the vote. Are there any objections or recusals? Hearing none, the motion is approved unanimously. Thank you, Kevin. Moving on to item B4. Request for acceptance of annual lease rent as determined by independent appraisal for rent reopenings for various vacant lots located statewide. TMKs as listed in the submittal. May I have a motion to approve the request? Thank you,
Diane.
Diane, thank you.
Second, Jimmy.
Jimmy, thank you for the second. Presentation by staff.
Dave, Kevin Moore again. So, as Chair indicated, this is just a request for the board to approve new rents for Oahu, Molokai, Big Island, and Kauai. We have 18 reopenings on Oahu, 2 new dispositions on Molokai, 12 reopenings on the Big Island, 3 reopenings on Kauai, and 1 conversion on Kauai. And the rents are all indicated in Exhibit A attached. They're generally increasing from current rents. But the staff feels that the recommended rents are reasonable and is asking the board to approve them. And so the staff recommendation is that the board accept the fair market rentals for the various agricultural park and non-agricultural park land leases as listed in Exhibit A. The new rental rates will take effect upon the extension dates or upon issuance of a new lease as may be appropriate for each lease. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. May I have a motion to approve the request? I think you did that. For this?
You did already, Chair.
Before he presented. Oh, sorry about that. Any public discussion? Oh, that's right, Jimmy and Diane.
No hands.
No hands? Board discussion? No board discussion. So hearing seeing none, calling for the vote. Are there any objections or recusals? Hearing none, the motion is approved unanimously. Thank you, Kevin.
Okay, thank you.
So that concludes the business for the agricultural loan division, for agricultural research management division. We have some old business, which was approval of minutes from the May 27th meeting. Do I need a motion to approve? Yeah. Okay, may I have a motion to approve the minutes from the May 27th meeting?
So move, Jimmy.
Jimmy, any second?
And I'll second.
Thank you. And discussion?
Testimony.
Any public testimony? No, hearing seeing none. Any board discussion? Hearing seeing none. Calling for the vote. Any objections or recusals? Hearing seeing none. The minutes of the 5/27 meeting is approved unanimously. Moving on to new business. Marcy, do we have someone from online? It's a non-action item and it's an update on the biosecurity related measures approved in the 2025 legislative session, including Act 236 relating to biosecurity, Act 240 relating to invasive species, and Act 250 relating to the state budget. Presentation.
Yeah, good morning, Chair, members of the board, Jonathan Ho, Plant Quarantine Branch Manager. So, real quick, this legislative session, there were three, I guess, like big biosecurity related bills that were passed. And then I'll kind of just go over, I think, some highlighted portions that are of, importance to the board, and some actions that the department's working on toward achieving the legislative mandates. So I think the first one in Act 236 is obviously the renaming of the department and the board to add and biosecurity. The department is working with DAGs to change all our uniforms, the badges, seals, buildings, things like that. And then with the name of the change to the name of the Board of Ag also has a new member that has to have a background in biosecurity as appointed by the governor. On January 1st, 2027, there's going to be a new position within the department, which is the deputy chairperson for biosecurity, which will be overseeing essentially the plant industry division and the animal industry division's biosecurity related mandates. And that position will be appointed by the governor. January 1st, 2028, that's when there will be the inclusion of a biosecurity emergency, where the department, with approval from the governor, can declare emergencies for biosecurity under specific circumstances, and it enables the department and governor to take specific actions to address the emergency. And it also authorizes the creation of transitional facilities and the licensing of said facilities and biosecurity auditors for inspections of goods going into these facilities. On December 1st, 2025, there's going to be there's a requirement that the department establish a pest dashboard that requires the department, DLNR, and basically parties that are pursuant to the government industry agreements for readiness and response provision in what is listed in the bill as 150 AF to regularly and timely post treatment area information. There's also a provision that prohibits the receiving or expenditure of public funds by any department, state department, agencies, political subdivision, or contracted party pursuant to the government industry agreements, and who does not provide information to the dashboard. So the department is working internally to create the dashboard. We had some posting on our website of some of this, and we're finalizing a lot of that with ETS, and we're we will have this up by December 1st, and obviously we're going to be working with all the partners who are required to provide information to ensure that they're going to be able to comply with the requirements. And then the last few things, January 1st, 2030, HISC, the Hawaii Invasive Species Council, will be transferred administratively from DLNR to the department. And within this measure, there were 3 funding mechanisms. So there was an additional 4.25 million for HISC for the next 2 fiscal years. The first fiscal year is going to be going to DLNR. Second year is coming to Department of Agriculture and Biosecurity. There was 500,000 for the Hawaii Ant Lab for both fiscal years, and that funding will be expended through the Department of Land and Natural Resources. And then there was an additional 500,000 for each of the next 2 fiscal years for the CRB response team, and those funds will be expended through the University of Hawaii. For Act 240, that's the one for firewood importation. And essentially what it does is it requires the labeling of all imported firewood to ensure proper heat treatment to eliminate wood-boring pests. The department's working with known importers for the inspection and notification requirements for the firewood. And notably, this regulation does not impose any requirements on firewood that's produced within the state. And then lastly is Act 250, so that's the general budget. Basically, the biggest thing is that the 44 positions from Act 231 from the 2024 legislative session for the Plant and Tree Division are now permanent with funding in the general fund. And to achieve that, the department has been working very heavily with DHERD to revise position descriptions, and that's for the plant pest control branch, plant quarantine branch, and the pesticides branch. And the department and DHERD are working on a mass hiring event that's going to occur in this facility on August 20th for the environmental health specialist and plant quarantine branch inspector positions. So, obviously we can, try to fill as many positions as possible. There's also going to be a mini job fair at the same time for folks that may be interested for other positions that the department has. And we're hoping that this is kind of a template for future events like this. And, the department's very thankful for the assistance of DHERD to, kind of push all this stuff through so that we can, achieve our biosecurity mandates. And the last thing is for Act 231, the projects from Act 231 are now basically enshrined in this bill. So it enables us to continue on our existing projects that we've been doing, such as, a bigger coordinated outreach and education campaign, continuing CRB, cocaine, LFA control, risk assessments, all the things that were done in Act 231. And we're working right now with DAGs to have the funds released so that, project development can begin and continue to be completed. Thank you.
Yeah, and add rosary parakeet and 2 lines.
Yeah.
Those are not as great a, a public concern, but certainly
Yes.
regional and specific.
Yep.
So thank you, Jonathan. I think you would work tirelessly and probably know more about these 3 acts than anyone in this department. Seriously, greatly appreciate the help from the legislature and the governor. We're gonna make a difference with these 3 acts. It's a real big step, bigger than it's ever been taken in a very long time, or maybe even ever. I did want to add one thing to the name change of the Department of Agriculture Biosecurity, that there is a federal piece to this, in that if anyone out there, it should be known that if you have a transaction on the federal side that you want to conduct with the Department of Agriculture, we will be coordinating the name change so that when you do submit the work that you're doing with the Department of Agriculture, we don't want that to be rejected if the name change occurs beforehand. And this is particularly important with any grants that we're applying for and that need approval by the federal side. So I have to mention, in case there's someone out there that has federal work or MOU or some kind of business to conduct with the Department of Agriculture, we will be announcing an official name change with that, with the federal government, so that the name change can be coordinated together. Okay, Jonathan, thank you so much. You've done the yeoman's work on this. Yeah, wait a minute, don't I have to do public first? Sure. Yeah, anyone from the public wishes to give testimony? Hey, recognizing person in the room, Laura Buchanan. Oh, sorry, supposed to identify herself. She can identify herself.
I can see me. Aloha, Honorable Chair-Hurd, members of the Board of Ag and Biosecurity. I have to get used to that. Aloha, my name is Laurie Buchanan, and I'm here from the island of Molokai. I first wanted to thank Chair Hurd, Jonathan, and all members of the Department of Ag who for the longest time, at least my time in working in invasive species, has always reached out to help the people of Molokai. So I wanted to thank you very much. With that, for the last 24 years, I have been the project coordinator for the Molokai Maui Invasive Species Committee. But I'm not here today speaking as the coordinator of that program. I'm here as a member of the Molokai community. And I'm here to ask humbly of the Department of Ag and the Board of Ag to please help the people of Molokai because I feel we have an emergency. We currently have not detected the state's high priority pest on the island of Molokai, although we have been looking for quite some time. We are most focused on coconut rhinoceros beetle, and along with little fire ants and cookie frogs, which we have not detected any naturalized populations on the island of Molokai. I think we're the last island of the main Hawaiian Islands that has not detected coconut rhinoceros beetle as of today, as far as I know. But we are well aware that they have made it to all of the islands and is recently introduced to Pulama to Lanai and detected by Pulama Lanai in May and June of these past 2 months. So my community is very aware. They're an educated community, and they are putting a lot of pressure to myself, my staff, and others in the community about what are we going to do about trying to stop CRB from getting to Molokai. And so we're doing everything that we can. We're conducting education and outreach. We've deployed about 50 CRB traps from east to west on the island of Molokai, as well as the Kalapapa Historical National Park. And the reason is because of the Pritchardia and Noolu palms on the islets on the North Shore. We're very concerned about that. Molokai has hundreds of thousands of coconut trees, primarily not for landscaping, but primarily that we use for subsistence. And on Molokai, we have two economies. We have the for working and money and Western traditional economy. And then we have the second economy, which is actually really important to the people of Molokai, and that's a subsistence economy. We are hunters and fishermen, and that is dependent on our resources being intact for the nearshore fisheries as well as our land and terrestrial. We are low-E kalo farmers. So we are very concerned, and we think that we are doing everything we can for early detection. And we are creating a rapid response plan as I sit here today that would probably call for a lot of community mobilization and then asking the county and the state for help. And today I'm here asking the Board of Ag and our honorable chair to do whatever you can to help the people of Molokai by stopping or restricting the introduction of plants and soils and mulch and compost, especially from high-risk areas. I know, because I know the importers. I know that for at least the past 8 months, we've been receiving large quantities of high-risk shipments. And we've tried to work with the importers on Molokai. They're not the most amenable, and they have not wanted to work with us. And when I say with us, with the Invasive Species Committee, and we offer all of our services for free for inspection. The other thing is, we know that on the horizon, there will be requests for the importation of large landscaping material because we have a hotel renovation that might be taking place. And so I'm panicking really about how much I can do to help and stop what I saw just yesterday, driving to Waianae. I am on Oahu, and as I passed Waikele and Central Oahu, I did not see one coconut tree on the Waikele golf course and in the centers that was not impacted by CRB. I feel the same way when the way I felt when Rapid Ohia death first threatened Hawaii Island. As a Native Hawaiian, as a practitioner, the significance of all of these natural resources that are being impacted is really personal for me. And so it's hard to not be affected. And being the person that is in charge of protecting Molokai and knowing that I've done everything that I can, I'm here today asking for help. I know the department and the board has options available to help us. And I'm asking, and I know that it's not on the agenda. I know it can be on future agendas, but I'm really asking for whatever is the most quickest and fastest mechanism available to all of you to help me protect Molokai from priority pest species. And I bought it and I saw it under this agenda item because it is also in the new act. And although biosecurity emergency is not coming up to 2028, I know that the governor still has that. I also know that Chair Hurd might be able to do emergency interim rulemaking. So that's what I'm here today. I'm happy to give a presentation at any future meeting. I'm happy to answer any questions. But this is why I'm here today from Molokai. Mahalo.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
Any other public discussion? None, seeing here none. Okay, board discussion. Oh, there is a hand, recognizing Stephanie.
Was I muted?
You're unmuted now.
Okay. Good morning, Chair Hurd. Good morning, members of the Board of Agriculture and Biosecurity, BAB. I'm very excited about your new name. Just listening to what Auntie Lori just said, you know,
Could you identify yourself, please?
Sorry, my name is Stephanie Easley with the Coordinating Group on Alien Pest Species.
Thank you.
You know, CRB, the situation on the Big Island, which I gave testimony on last time, I won't repeat, but that, you know, it's spreading in property that's owned by HDOA B. And it is an emergency situation on the islands where it's still spreading. And I do hope that the board listens with an open heart to what Lori said and can figure out how to help the Molokai and the other islands. From that, I'm going to switch gears and just talk quickly about one other new law that was adopted this last session. It's Act 190. It's a law that prohibits anything that is under state law, that prohibits anything that is prohibited by a USDA quarantine from entering Hawaii. This is a very exciting law because hopefully it will protect Hawaii from getting citrus greening. Citrus production has nearly tripled in Hawaii between 2018 and 2021, and Act 190 allows USDA to stop the movement of items that are prohibited under USDA quarantine. Hopefully we can keep citrus greening. There is no cure for citrus greening. If it comes here, we have the insect that vectors it. You know, it would be a terrible situation, and we're really excited about this act and look forward to seeing how DAB carries it out. Thank you for the opportunity to address you this morning.
Thank you, Stephanie. We will note that Act 190 was not on the agenda item, but we will be happy to entertain that as part of the minutes. Thank you, Stephanie. Board discussion. First of all, any other public discussion? No, seeing none. All righty, moving on to the board discussion. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you, Chair. With respect to the upcoming biosecurity inspector job fair on Oahu, yay, great news. Is there any plans or projections for holding similar fairs on the neighbor islands, as well as projections for divvying up those the new positions?
Yeah, so Jonathan Ho, Plant Quarantine Branch Manager. So the positions that were allocated to the department for Act 231 are going to be spread across the entire state. The majority are on Oahu, since we have 85% of importations are being on Oahu. So we're going to bring the folks in, and the goal is to have line inspectors, the boots on the ground, and then I think the working supervisors created. And that's to be able to redo the night shift that the department used to have. I think when was it? I think it stopped in 2009 after the RIF. So we haven't had a night shift at the department since then. So the goal is to get these folks in, get them trained, and then bring back the night shift. So obviously we'll be able to cover, I would say, at least till 12:30 daily, 7 days a week. For the other positions, we're looking to increase the staffing on Kauai because there's only 2 people, create a working supervisor there. I think there's gonna be 2 more on Maui or 3 more on Maui. 1, 2, 3, I think 3 on Maui. 2 more in Kona, and I think 5 more in Hilo. As Auntie Lori had said, you know, I think one of the things that we're trying to figure out specifically for Molokai is how to get a position, a departmental person on the island. The general professional series appears to meet that I think that idea of having a person who can do multiple departmental functions, you know, obviously, you know, I think the community is small, and having somebody who can, you know, do multiple things that the department can do, I think enables the community to kind of get the job done, and then utilize the state's resources as efficiently as possible. And I think I'm not quite sure how to do that, particularly through DHERD and through the department, but I think I know that's something that we're trying to do specifically for the Molokai community. And as it relates to the outer islands, I know that DHERD has been doing, I would say like island-based job fairs. I think they did recently do one on Maui, and I think we were able to hire an inspector on Maui for that. I think they're starting in the next 2 weeks or so. And I think as it relates to, I think, how we're going to work with DHERD on that, I think, you know, I know Chair Hurd has been working very much with Director Hashimoto, and I think something like that, maybe not actually just for the department. I don't see those things not occurring. DHERD has been, you know, very helpful, and I think, you know, hopefully like this particular event will be maybe a template that can be used, maybe not necessarily just for the department, but for other departments, you know, to increase recruitment. And, you know, with the uncertainty with the federal government and, you know, potential layoffs and stuff like that, there may be a lot of folks that may be looking for positions that we're going to have to be able to fill quite quickly. And the governor's Operation Hire Hawaii has been very quick for us to get positions up and fill a lot of the, you know, I think the traditional delays that people hear about DHERD. We haven't really seen a lot of those, and we've been able to get positions very quickly, particularly the Maui one. It was very fast.
But that said, Diane, it's a good time to mention that applicants are encouraged to submit their applications directly to the department. If it's on the OHI list, please send it directly, because we are using the OHI mechanism to hire quickly. There are job fairs on the neighbor islands, Jonathan said, but because of the number of vacancies, not only from Act 231, but on a regular basis, the vacancies are on Oahu. But that said, Diane, there was a provision or not a provision, exception made for the Department of Agriculture recently for higher level positions. Most of them used to be domiciled or located on Oahu. They made the provision that neighbor island applicants, if they qualify and are selected for a position that is a higher level, with all the technology that's available to us today via phones and Zoom and the different ways that we can connect, not to mention air flights, those positions can be considered for the neighbor islands, even though they're traditionally located at the head office, you might say, but now they're allowed to be located on the neighbor islands, so they don't have to move. You know, they can still work on their home, you might say. Yeah, so we're doing everything we can to accommodate the talent and workforce to develop on the neighbor islands.
Right, thank you to you, your staff, and the folks at DHERD as well for being proactive and, yep, taking steps to modernize. And I really appreciate the, you know, looking at Molokai's needs in a more holistic approach. when I was over there, last year. That's one of the things I heard. We need an ombudsman type person to address agriculture and the environment. So great news. Thank you.
Yeah, so Jonathan was expanding on the general worker type position for Molokai, but we all know what that is, right, Lori? It's a person that can inspect and clean and sweep the floor at night, right? It's a general worker because of the limited flights that are in and out of Molokai. We don't want people to be just, sitting around. So we're changing it so that they do everything. And Jonathan's working really hard on that PD. Anything else to add from, I'm sorry, we have Nathaniel?
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
I just wanted to thank Auntie Lori Buchanan for taking the time and the energy and traveling all the way over there. It's not easy to travel off this island. And it just kind of shows the amount of passion she has for what she does. I know her, I know a lot of her team, we're friends. And one of the reasons Molokai has been so successful in their ISK group is because they care a lot about their backyard. This is a multi-generational families here. It's directly tied to the land. So I kind of wanted to reach out to her, being that we're in a unique situation. This is a unique place. It doesn't always fit in the box. What other islands might work for them may not work here. But if you'd like to have a discussion, maybe we can find some stuff or figure out ways to kind of to clean up, maybe button up or work with Jonathan in the agreement, give them some solutions or some ideas. So just extending a hand. And thank you again for your testimony.
Thank you, Nate. Any other board discussion? Thank you, Jonathan. That was always a comprehensive and detailed report for the non-action item. Okay, thank you. With that, we will move to adjourn. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Jimmy.
Jimmy, thank you. And a second?
1 second.
Thank you, Ed. Moved and seconded. Board discussion, if any? Calling for the vote. Any objections or recusals? Hearing none. The meeting is adjourned. And it is 10:31. Thank you. Next meeting, it will
Thank you,
be
everyone.
August 26th, Tuesday at 9 a.m. Thank you.
Have a great week. Aloha, everyone.
Thank you.
Well.